Okay. Let us get started here. I have 83 packs, three of which are the specialty packs from the some of the various book of whatevers. I think I did Rokaras, then I did Uthers and Guldans because people are saying that Gul'dan was really good, and the fact that it had puzzles in it made it really fun. So I guess I'll just open these in the order that it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna get new stuff from these anyway. See if I get lucky and get any legendaries. Nothing from the warrior pack. But, of course, we get all new stuff from the new set. Two copies of Heavy Plate, two copies of Harbor Scamp. Usually when I do my pack openings, I usually like review all the legendary stuff. And then kind of review everything else as I open packs. I'm gonna skip the legendary stuff. Most of the stuff I'm interested in are the quest lines. The legendary minions seem, I don't want to say underpowered, but less interesting to me overall. Varian looks good. I had qualms because he looked comparable to Countess Ashmore and High Exarch Yrel, both of which never saw play, but it also, people are comparing it to like Siamat and one other card that was pretty good that did see a ton of play. So it draws a bunch of cards and it does stuff immediately, and it's the diamond one, so I have it already. So yeah, also Bolner looks good, the shaman minion. He looks real rad. Other than that, everything else looks kind of situational here and there. It's mostly the quest lines that look to have the most amount of spice for this set. No pun intended. I guess I wrote down the ones I'm most interested in. I really want the priest and the warlock ones. The hunter one seems really cool for standard, and also this may be naive, but I really want to mess around with the hunter one in wild because All Spells Hunter was one of my favorite decks of all time when those sets were in standard. And I missed that deck, and the Hunter Quest looks pretty good for that kind of style of deck, so might be naive because it might be horrible. I ran into an All Spells an All Spells Hunter the other day that I completely ran over. But I at least want to give it a try if I happen to crack open the Hunter Quest. Shaman Quest looks good. People are saying the Druid Quest is great, so a lot of the quest lines look really fun. The Warrior Quest looks sick. The Pirate stuff, I don't know how good it'll be in Pirate Warrior in Wild, but it certainly looks fun. They did a really good job with the quest lines this time around. Almost all of them look like things I want to do, so that's mostly where my want factor is. As many quest lines as I can get my hands on. As far as these stuff, yep, these are pirate cards. The Harbor Scamp and the Shiver Their Timbers will all be run definitely in standard. This 2-mana 2/2 one, I think easily slots in Wild in Pirate Warrior. It's just Cage Mash Custodian, but it draws a pirate instead of a weapon. Cage Mash Custodian is pretty sick in Shaman these days, especially in a warrior deck where you want to run a lot of pirates. Yes, please. As far as heavy plate, these gain a bunch of armor cards, like never really see play. Yes, it's got tradable, but I mean, they literally printed one that was a 1-mana gain 5 armor that saw 0 play ever, and that's as good of a deal as you're ever gonna get. Yes, shield block saw play, but that drew you a card as well, and Warrior really struggles with card draw, so that's why that saw play for forever in Warrior. Heavy plate, no, I don't think so. Let's, I really want that Warlock quest, so I'm going to just open the Paladin one next. See if we can pick up a legendary card here. I don't think I've gotten a single legendary card from these class-only packs. I did get 2 rares, though. Alliance Bannerman is going straight in my hand buff Paladin deck in Wilds, which has been my favorite deck as of late. That might be my favorite deck of all time, hand buff Paladin. I was a bit of a hipster and played that deck way before it was actually good when the last set and the core set came out. I was running it back when Doppelgangster was a card that you actually wanted to run in that deck. this card slots right in. It's super well statted for what it does. It draws a minion, which is something that a deck definitely wants to do. I'm super hype to continue playing this deck in Wild. I switched back to Secret Mage today just because I didn't want to run this deck without this guy before I opened my packs. So these guys are going straight in my deck. City Tax. It's a tradable Spirit Lash that only hits enemy minions, but it costs the same. I don't think this is super good. Sometimes you want to heal in Paladin, but I feel like overall, like, I think Priest could utilize the Spirit Lash a lot more. Plus, hitting your own minions was never really a deficit. Like, sometimes you would run it with Acolyte of Pain or something like that, and you would actually want to, like, trigger it on yourself, or you'd run it alongside, like, Blood Mage Thalnos in Highlander Priest, which then healed for double after it hit everything. And against all the huge aggro in Wild, you kind of need to do that sometimes, and City Tax I don't think is going to get you there. So some of these cards I have not seen because the reveal cycle was so stunted. There's a lot of these like commons and rares, and I guess a couple epics here and there probably that I just haven't seen. Catacomb Guard I think is one of them. Battle Cry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack to an enemy minion. So it is a hand buff card that I don't think outclasses anything I want to do in my already hand buff deck, which is unfortunate because effects like this are really cool, but in Standard I don't think this sees play because you really need to go all in on the hand buff stuff, and in Wild there's just better options than this. So unfortunately I don't think Catacomb Guard has really any chance of seeing any play. Meanwhile, Prismatic Jewel Kit goes alongside with a Divine Shield theme that they gave Paladin this set. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, buff your minions +1/+1 in your hand. It requires you to go all in on Divine Shield stuff, which they did get a legendary that plays well with the Divine Shield stuff. I don't know, there's way better weapons in Paladin. Like, if I'm equipping a weapon early game in Paladin, I want it to be the Sword of the Fallen that just pulls secrets from my deck. That just seems a lot better overall. Most of the time I want to play that on turn 2, so I don't think I want to be running this card. Plus I have to go way all in on Divine Shield stuff just to potentially make this work. And then I have to play a Divine Shield minion to buff the other minions in my hand. This doesn't just do it on its own. I don't know. It's really clunky. It's really weird. Aside from things like... who's the 1/1 with Divine Shield and Taunt? Aside from that one, like, your opponent can just choose not to proc your Divine Shield stuff, or can just kill it outright with some kind of a kill spell that's not damage based. So, I don't know. I don't like Prismatic Jewel Kit. I don't think it's super great. And then the Warlock pack. We got the Void card back. Let's see if we can get lucky here. Nope. Alright, Demonic Assault. Deal 3 damage. Summon 2 1/3 Void Walkers. That is really expensive for what that does. So deal 3 damage is worth about 2 mana. 2 1/3 Void Walkers is worth 1 mana each. So that's baseline worth 4 mana, and when you bundle cards together, and then they cost the same amount as what they would do normally, I guess it can go face, but I don't know. On turn 4, I don't want to be dealing 3 damage to something. It seems slow and not great. And then Voidwalkers aren't even really doing anything at that point. I don't know. I don't like it. Shady Bartender, give your demons +2/+2. Sometimes these Anthem effects work pretty well. Historically, though, the demon stuff has not super panned out, especially when Warlocks are playing a lot of demons. They're playing a lot of other minion types as well. They're playing, like, efficient stuff, like Zoo. Not that it was ever good recently, but that 1 mana 2/2 that was in, I think, Descent of Dragons. You know, that's a Zoo card, and that doesn't have any kind of a creature type to it. So, I don't know. Sometimes they work like in Murloc decks where you're going all in on Murlocs. Those buff all Murlocs cards are good. The demon ones never really, like, did much. So, I don't know. Shady Bartender. Plus, it's a 5 mana 4/4. It's bad stats. It's got tradable, but that's not really an upside. I don't think so. Bloodbound Imp. Well, it's a card for Zoo. 2 mana, 2/5, deal 2 damage for your hero. It also does the self-damage thing that you want to do for your quest. Seems okay. I think for that quest, I want to be running more control stuff, and this is not a control card. It reminds me of a similar card in Zoo that was like a 3 mana 4/5 that dealt 4 damage to your face whenever you attacked with it. I liked that card. That was Saviors of Uldum, I think. That was the last time I ever really gave Zoo a go. This is basically that card, but just 2 mana less, or 1 mana less, and -2 attack. So, I don't know. I don't think this sees play in the quest deck, and Zoo is not a thing. Mithril Rod, on the other hand, for the hand Warlock stuff. After you draw 4 cards, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. Well, in Wilds, you can just plot twist and discount everything. This one might be decent. This one might be good. Handlock tends to run bigger stuff. So if you can get this equipped, just over time, you'll eventually have like a huge grip of cards that you're discounting. This one, most of these profession weapons don't seem super great, but this one I think has one of the best chances of seeing play. Also, I love that purple border on the weapon. You don't see that ever. I guess this is only the second Warlock weapon after Skull of the Minari. Looks really cool with that purple border. Alright. Let's get into the Stormwind packs proper. Gone are the days of just all the same class cards. Guaranteed a legendary in the first 10. I believe in first pack magic, but if it's not going to be first pack magic, pack 7. My wife guessed pack 5. Let's see who's closer. Christmas card back. No first pack magic. Alright. What do we got? Canal Slogger. Seems really good. 4 mana, 6/4 with Rush and Lifesteal. That's obscene. It's so good. Card seems great. Rodent Nest. Oh, I haven't seen this yet. 4 mana, 2/2. So it's basically like an egg card, but it can actually attack. Summon 5 1/1 rats. That's a hefty death rattle. It's a frail death rattle, but it's hefty as far as number of bodies. Does Hunter have any mass buff thing? I know there's like some hand buff stuff with the Caravan and the one epic rodent card. Getting 5 1/1s on board though on turn 5 or later doesn't seem like the best thing. I don't think Rodent Nest is gonna do it. Void Shard. Oh, I haven't seen this either. Just straight up deal 4 damage to anything with Lifesteal. Okay. It's kind of premium statted, but makes up for it the fact that it has Lifesteal. It's a shadow spell, so it deals with the whole Benedictus thing of your hero power becoming a 2 damage ping from the start of the game. So this is an option to heal. There's some other general healing stuff, like minion-based healing stuff, but I like the fact that this can go face, that they're pushing actual like damage being dealt. I don't know. This, I think Void Shard might see some play in some kind of a Shadow Priest list. We'll see if that is actually good. Florist, shout out to the typo at then end of your turn. Reduce the cost of a nature spell in your hand by 1. This is trash. No one cares about nature spells. I'm not even gonna dignify it by talking about it any further. Charged Call. I don't think I've seen this. Discover a 1-cost minion and summon it. Upgraded for each overload card you played this game. So I'm assuming it discovers a 2-cost and then a 3-cost and then a 4, 5, and so on for that. Discover a minion and summon it. That's weird. I have not seen this card until just now, like legitimately. Discover a minion and summon it. Well, this itself doesn't have overload on it. I don't think it's good enough to run in an overload deck. I think there's like better like stuff you want to run. Like you play your overload stuff, sure, but I don't know if you actually run this. I think you just top it off with some maybe some elementals. I mean, this guy's an elemental that has overload, so certainly you can continue doing some elemental type stuff in that shaman deck. If you're playing the quest, you really want to play all your overload stuff as fast as possible, and then I guess burn your opponent out. Copying this, making this happen twice in a turn, doesn't seem like the hugest payoff to me. I don't know. I don't really. And then, oh, and then if you, oh no, it's upgraded. Okay, see, this doesn't have to be in your hand for this to upgrade. I thought if you like drew this late game, it would just be a discover a one cost thing, and then you had to update it from there. Okay, so it's just an overall buff. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, especially like with how many minions there are. Like, I'm thinking about this in Wild too. Like, oh, what if you find Leroy, but like your odds are so low of finding like Leroy or something from this. I guess there's a lot of rush stuff you can find, but oh well. I don't know, it just seems like a really weird card. Pack 2. Just another single rare pack, alright. Starting off real slow with these. Traveling Merchant. Gain +1/+1 for each other friendly minion you control. Okay. I mean, this is basically Dark Iron Dwarf. That's that card, right? Gains attack based on how many minions are on the field. I don't think this is good. I don't think just playing a big beater is like worth a slot in a deck, unfortunately. Guild Trader, tradable, spell damage +2. It's fine. It's fine. It's got tradable, so you can just toss it back early on and hope you find it again later when you need to burn your opponent down. It's a fine tradable card. Morag Forge Fiend, Zeddy on Twitter mentioned this one. Is this worth running over something like Void Lord or what's that 7 mana? It's like a 7 mana, it's 7 or 8 mana 5/7 that summons a 5/5 with lifesteal when it dies. He asked if the Morag Forge Fiend was worth running over any of those, and I chimed in and said I think this is worth running over Void Lord, even though Void Lord is like historically a great card in decks like that. It summons the 1/3 Voidwalkers that you don't want to resurrect with Blood Reaver Gul'dan. And I've had games where I counted on, like, I made sure to kill the Voidwalker as fast as I could so that or the Void Lord as fast as I could so I could kill the Void Lords to tarnish their pool. And sure enough, when they played Gul'dan, they summoned like 4 Voidwalkers that sucked and did nothing and just took up space on their board. I think this is, especially like it gives you 8 armor, that's so good. I think this is a no-brainer to run over Void Lord, actually. And it's a common, and that one's an epic. Boy. 1 mana, draw an Overload card. Auction House Gavel. After your hero attacks, reduce the cost of a Battlecry minion in your hand by 1. I would rather be playing Whack-A-Null Hammer, I think. Pack 3. Ah, 2 rares. Ooh. Chaos Leech. Gold. My first golden anything of the set. Park Panther. This slots into Quest Druid. I'm already seeing lists of people running this card. Seems good in a deck that cares about this kind of stuff. It's a fine card. It's fast. It's fairly statted and has a good upside for your face. It's good. Void Shard. We've talked about Lion's Guard. You have 15 or less health gain +2/+4 and taunt. Cards like this, see, if this had tradable, this would be good. 'Cause I don't want to draw this early on. I want to trade this away. Cards like this tend to not... I'm trying to think of comparisons to it. I know there's like Lone Champion. That, like, those, if it's your only minion on your battlefield to do a thing. It protects you good if you're under 15 health, but it's like a dead card otherwise. I don't know. I don't know if anyone cares about a, what would this be, a 610? I mean, a 610 for 5 with taunt is great, but if you're under 15 health, like, your opponent probably has enough board presence or stuff to do that they can just kind of deal with it, right? I mean, it might slow them down a bit, but it sounds like you're playing a losing game anyway. I don't see a world where this one card saves you. Like when you're down, like a mage, you would want to have something, you'd want to find something like a flame strike or something to just clear that board, not just slow them down for a turn. I don't know. 3 mana, 3/3 tradable rush. It's bad. Chaos Leech. Lifesteal, deal 3 damage to a minion. Outcast, deal 5 instead. So this is like, it's like Eye Beam, but does more damage. It can't be discounted. I think most of the time you're just fine with Eye Beam. I don't think you really need Chaos Leech. I think this was just made for the Jace play a bunch of fell spells again thing. I don't know. I don't think this is super good. But it's shiny. Animation looks cool. That's about all I have to say about it. I just remembered I need to claim a thing. I need to claim 2 things, actually. My random epic. Tiny Toys. Let's go. Evolve Shaman in Wild. Summon 4 random 5-cost minions. Make them 2/2. This could be busted. Could be garbage. It's random. Who knows? I also need to claim this. Who do I want? I think I know who I want. I think I picked Uther for my first one. Oh no, this is like my 3rd one. I think I'm taking Valera. Oh wait. I took Uther for my level 100 thing. Malfurion looks bad. Plus, I'm getting Guff with this Tavern Pass. I'm not taking anything for Druid. Oh, I guess this is just my 2nd one, huh? Well, taking Valera. That Valera looks good. What else? Oh, collection stuff. Cool. Okay. Back to the packs. What is this? Pack 4? Alright, back to the single rares. Our first SI... Oh, a neutral SI7 card. SI7 Skulker. Next card you draw costs 1 less. 2 mana, 2/2 stealth. Well, this is a rogue card in stealth. It's not great, but if you're that rogue quest, you want to be playing the SI7 stuff. This is fine. It's a fairly statted minion with a potential upside. Though it'll feel real bad if you end up drawing, like, the next card in your deck is like a Backstab or Shadow Step or something like that. That would suck. Fire Sale. Oh, people are hype about this one. This is one of the first ones they announced. Tradable, deal 3 damage to all minions. Cool. It's like Hellfire, it just doesn't hit heroes. It's fine. It's tradable if you don't need it. And Hot Streak, it's like an elemental evocation for, I think that was the name of that card, but for fire spells. It's decent, except you want to play it this turn. If you're playing the quest, do you run this? Because you just want to run, like, you want to cast like one of each type of spell. So I don't know if you run this one, because this one is worthless unless you cast a 2nd fire spell, but you want to save that 2nd fire spell for the next step of your quest. And it's a 2 mana discount, but unless there's a very, very particular fire spell you want to be casting often, like the elemental evocation was so good with what is it, cyclone, some cyclone elemental that was add a random spell to your hand for every spell you've cast this turn. So if you had that in hand plus the elemental evocation, and if you cast like even just one other spell, evocation whirlwind gives you like 2 random spells in your hand at least. So that was a good combo because there's something you always wanted to be discounting and playing with it. This, I'm not so sure. I don't think Hot Streak sees play much ever. Sorry. And even like things like Fireball, you don't want a Fireball on turn 2. You want to save those for when you're trying to burn out your opponent or kill a big guy, which you're not wanting to do on turn 2. I don't know. I don't think Hot Streak's very good. Controversial? Maybe. 6 mana 4/4. I have not seen this card. Summon 2/05 castle walls with taunt. Bad. Overcosted. The 0/5s are just gonna die. They're not gonna slow your opponent down much. I want to be doing other stuff on turn 6. City Architect is bad. Also, where are her legs? I guess she's standing behind a table and stuff, but it looks like she's just floating in the air and has no legs. Cargo Guard, a pirate. At the end of your turn, gain 3 armor. Okay, it's a little understated, and it's defensive. I think there's better pirates, unless you're trying to just go for a critical mass of pirates thing. I can name like a bunch of other pirates I'd rather be playing than this guy. Like for just 1 more mana, there's a guy that has more stats and equips me a Fiery War Axe. Get this guy out of my deck. There's Circus Amalgam, which is better as a pirate. For 1 mana more, it's got 2 more attack, 1 more health, and taunt. I would take that over 3 armor any day. Why is this a rare? This is like a common effect. Not a fan. Pack 5. Alright, so this is what my wife predicted for me to get my first legendary. Nope. Alright, so we're looking for pack 7 then, for me. For my prediction. Royal Librarian, tradable, Battlecry, Silence, a minion. This is, oh, what's that card? This is that other Silence card that they moved to the Hall of Fame, except it's a 3/4 instead of a 4/3. This is literally that same card that they thought was too good to Hall of Fame. Is Silence good? Is Silence good? Like, Hearthstone's a much different game than when that one Silence guy got Hall of Famed. Sometimes Silence is good, but not overall. There's so many persistent effects now, especially with these quest lines. What are you gonna do? Summon the 5 mana 7/7? It's still a 5 mana 7/7. It already did its thing. I think this is garbage, Royal Librarian. Sorry. Filtrator talked about Fell Barrage, deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy twice. So if this is your opponent's face, if your opponent has no minions, this literally hits them for 4 for 2. Could be okay. This could just be overkill on something that has 1 minion. This is a bad card. Gets replayed with Jace though, but... Oh, second Chaos Leech. No, I don't think Fell Barrage is really good. There's so many other things I want to be doing with Demon Hunter. Pack 6. Where's this card back? I like it. Wicker Claw, after hero gains attack, this minion gains +2 attack. So people are super hyped on this card. It's okay. You have to spend your turn 3, even probably if you can on turn 2 as well, gaining attack for this card to be any good. Vanilla, this card is bad. You need to spend your turn 3 probably doing something that's slow on tempo. If you're playing the quest, it's something you want to be doing, but any other scenario, it's slow. You're spending turn 3 using 2 mana to hero power, basically. Or you're using your turn 3 to play a 1 mana, what is it? Claw? I don't even remember what the spell is that they have to give druids attack. You're basically playing this on turn 2 to have an awkward turn 3. But you get a 3/4 out of it that can attack. Maybe that's good? I don't know. I think this card's overrated. This card is not as good as people were rating it to be. It's probably okay in an attack-heavy druid deck, but I don't know if there's that many tools for that deck at the moment. Now, I have seen people saying that this whole quest thing could be a really good like stepping stone in the middle to get to your later turns to play like guardian animals or survival of the fittest or something like that. Which I can see that, but in that case, I don't think you run Wicker Claw. I don't know. I think it's way overrated, certainly, for sure. That you can quote me on. Twilight Deceptor. If any hero took damage this turn, draw a shadow spell. Okay. This is fine. This is good, I think. If any hero took damage. So if you damage yourself, if you're in shadow form already, you can ping your opponent's face and play this to draw a shadow spell. That's good. If you raise dead, you hit yourself and play this. You don't want to play raise dead on like turn 2 though. So this is like a later turn play. I guess if you have a minion on board and swing in, that's probably your most likely scenario. Then you play this. It just depends on if that aggro priest deck is an actual thing or just a meme. So, I guess we'll see. Sigil of Alacrity. At the start of your next turn, draw a card and reduce its cost by 1. It's a fine card. It's essentially just a cycle delayed by a turn. I know Demon Hunter has a lot of stuff for like drawing a bunch of cards in one turn. Also, shoutouts to that Sigil achievement. If you still haven't played 200 Sigils, just throw this in a deck. This is fine for 1 mana. With Demon Hunter, I think I want to be more proactive anyway. Like, I would much rather play the 2 mana summon 2 2/2s with Taunt than this, even though this costs 1 less. Or half as much if you want to look at it that way. It's fine if you really want to draw cards, but Demon Hunter has so many card draw options that I don't know about that Sigil. Alright, pack 7. This is my pick for legendary pack. No. Alright, we're having a bad opening so far. Blessed Goods, discover a secret, weapon, or divine shield minion. These cards never see much play. Granted, sometimes they're a little overstated. Sometimes they're just add 1 of each to your hand. Also note that it will just show you 1 of each, so it's like if you want a particular divine shield minion, your odds of getting it are super low. I don't care much for these type of discover ones. Now if it was like discover secret weapon or divine shield minion and then discover 1 of those, that would be so good. This would be incredible if it was that way, but the way they stand right now, I don't think this is very good. Stormwind Piper, why doesn't this draw me a low cost? Why doesn't this draw me a low cost thing for my deck? That's what the older Piper did, the Witchwood Piper. After this minion attacks, give your beast +1/+1. Rats, I guess. I guess that's a nice little Pied Piper thing, but are the rats gonna be good though? That rat nest was bad. Rats of extraordinary size is expensive. This minion has to survive a turn. You need a board for this thing to like buff. It's awkward, man. I don't think this card's good. I think Witchwood Piper was fine. Witchwood Piper was great in like combo decks. Stormwind Piper I think is bad. Shard of the Naru, it's Master Spell without card draw and tradable for 1 mana. It's a good card. It's a powerful effect for sure. Not always gonna want it, but even if it's just like a silence, even if it's just a silence 1 thing, silence was 0 mana. This is, you know, just 1 more. If you silence at least 2 things with it, it's a great deal. If you silence more than that, it's cake. It's tradable, so even if you don't need it, you can just cycle. It's fine. I think it's decent. I think it'll see play, except it is holy, so you're not doing shadow stuff with it. Ah, our first mount card. Give a minion +1/+1 and divine shield. When it dies, summon a, I'm assuming 1/1 warhorse with taunt, or with divine shield. Not the best mount card. I think it's not great, actually. 2 mana for +1/+1 and divine shield. The 1/1 that it summons at the end is like a nothing, basically. Is buffing a mana by +1/+1 and giving it Divine Shield worth 2 mana? I think I'd rather be doing other stuff with Paladin. Like any other Paladin deck, I'd rather be doing other stuff, especially with 2 mana. I don't think this card ever gets run. Come on. Where's my legendary? Oh, we get one of my favorite arts of the set, if not my favorite art. Loan Shark. Give your opponent a coin. Death Rattle, you get 2. Giving your opponent priority here is really bad. Granted, yes, the Death Rattle you get 2, and there's achievements for adding coins to players' hands. So this is one of the most efficient ways to get that done. I think this is overall a bad card. You do not want to give your opponent a card or a coin. Especially first. Like, if you're going to give your opponent a coin, like, you want those 2 coins first. Like, if this was the other way around, Battle Cry, get 2 coins, Death Rattle, give your opponent 1. Might be good. Also note you're never playing this with the Counterfeit Dagger one. Oh boy, Counterfeit Dagger with this. Gaining this Death Rattle. Oh, no, Death Rattle you get 2. Okay, you would get 2 coins. So if it was the other way around with your opponent getting a coin, that would be really bad. My head cannon turned into actual cannon for a second. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be playing Loan Shark in duels to do that stupid coin achievement. But certainly not anywhere else. SI7 Operative. Rush. After this, attacks a minion, gains stealth. You're essentially left with a really small stealth body after this. It's an SI7 card, so it goes with that quest. I don't think this is that great, though. Like, I know there's other payoffs for playing the SI7 cards, but this feels like a pill that you have to swallow. Like, alright, I guess I gotta run this one. Yeah, I don't think it's great. It's the weakest SI7 card that I can remember exists in my head. Rare second Shiver Their Timbers. Alright, let's not pity timer out for our first legendary, okay? Thank you. Oops. Oh well. Alright, we almost pity timered out. Not quite. Cowardly Grunt. Summon a minion from your deck. Oh, 6 mana, 6/2. Yikes-a-rooney. That's a really bad stat line. Big Warrior? Does Big Warrior exist? Not in Standard. Not in Wild either. You better be running some large boys for this to ever see play. I think this card is trash. Firebound Brute, Big Demon for Demon Hunter, costs 1 less for each card drawn this turn. Okay, so this is a payoff for some of the drawing card stuff that we get. Yeah. If you play Skull of Gul'dan with this, and happen to draw this card, I think that's a free 6/7. That's decent. At the very least, it's gonna, no matter what, be a 6 mana 6/7. The cost is deceptive here because it's no matter what, you've drawn 1 card this turn, unless you're in fatigue. 6 mana 6/7 with taunt is like a vanilla minion, basically. Card might be good. Demon Hunter draws a lot of stuff. I don't know if Demon Hunter cares about big bodies, particularly. They just want to smash your face. But certainly a cheap or free 6/7. There's nothing to sneeze at. This one might be fine. This one might be okay. We have talked about these other 2. So our first legendary we've got, I need to mark my list. Our first legendary after, what is this, pack 9, is the Rat King. Ugh. Not a great one, but one that there is an achievement for, so I do not have to spend dust on crafting this card. The Rat King. After 9. Oh boy. Yeah, you gotta do a lot of work to revive this. A 5 mana 5/5 with Rush is like fine if you're a common card. To revive this, you gotta do so much work. You gotta summon so much stuff. I guess I'm gonna highlight Rat Hunter, Rat Hunter in a future video to try to see how bad this achievement's gonna be to get done. I gotta tell you, it doesn't feel great to open that first. This was on my lower tier for the legendary cards, unfortunately. But like I said, not all bad. There's an achievement that specifically names this card, so I'm fine with that. That was, what, 9? Yeah, 9 packs. Okay, let us change our card back. Obviously, the random card back wasn't doing it for us. I'm a believer in this kind of luck. So, we want... You know, we want that priest quest. Okay, so let's get the priestiest looking card we can find, and I think I know which one. I think Pristine Scenes is going to get us there for this purified shard that we're going to find to kill our opponent outright. This is going to give us the juice. Let's go. First pack legendary on the new card back. Oh, we got I guess our first epic. We have not cracked open a single epic yet until now. SI7 Informant, gain +1 for each SI7 card you played this game. So this is one of the payoff cards for playing SI7 cards. Seems fine. It'll just end up being a big body. Rogue doesn't care too much about the body, I guess. Like, this is really just a card you run because you're running other SI7 cards. Like, this is one of the payoffs. If you've played at least 2 others, it's a 4-mana 5/5, which, sure, fine, good stats. Oh, I didn't talk about Aim Shot. One of the best cards in the set. It can deal 3 damage to any target, and your next hero power deals 2 extra damage. This card's incredible, actually. It feeds in with a quest. It's just a card that gets run in like every Hunter deck. It's 3 mana, deal 5 no matter what, basically. So it's basically like a kill command, but just some of the damage is separated from it. And kill command was like in every Hunter deck before it was no longer in standard. Aim Shot is incredible. One of the best cards. Like, this could have been a rare, and I would be like, yep, it's worth it. Speaking of rares, Devouring Storm. Choose an enemy minion. Your minions attack it. Then return any that die to your hand. So this is like a Rat King, rat kind of card. I don't think it's great. It's like reverse Hysteria for 0 mana. But there's almost no downside because you get your minions back in your hand. So if Hunter is playing like Battle Cry stuff, that's a way to get those back. But like, it's a weird card, man. People are saying like to run this with like the Trampling Rhinos, and yeah, that's fine, I guess. They swing in, kill something. You target another thing with this spell, they swing in, attack it again. Maybe die, maybe not. Either way, they're swinging in and killing 2 things in a turn. I think that's a good case, a good use case. Face Hunter's a good deck. But outside of Trampling Rhino, is this worth it? It does cost 0 mana though, so that's always something to think about. It's literally free. It seems to not have any downsides, but are the upsides worth it? I don't know. It's really hard to evaluate. Our first epic that we've cracked from our pack is Dreaded Mount. Well, there is an achievement to go with this. It's really expensive to give a mana +1/+1, and you get a Dread Steed, which is just a 1/1 that when it dies, it resurrects at the end of the turn. There's an achievement for summoning a bunch of them. So I'm glad I don't have to craft this probably terrible card. And this card does look terrible. I have no idea what deck this goes in. This is incredibly inefficient. I kind of hate it. This is a really bad card. Wow, yeah. As we'd predict, as this goes on, these will get shorter as we find fewer and fewer new cards to talk about. Stockade's Guard is new, though. Battlecry, give a friendly minion taunt. It's bad. There's a card like this in Standard in the core set before this, or I guess the basic set. Not basic set, classic set. It was just like give an adjacent minion taunt, or maybe it was give both adjacent minions taunt, but it never saw too much play. It's bad. I don't want to run this. Yeah, it's a 1 mana 1/3, which is like the stat line for good 1-drops, but like the battle cry is not worth it. There's so many other things I'd rather run in my deck. Second aim shot. Rare is a second ruined mithril rod. Pack 69. This is going to be a nice one, I bet. Okay, Stormwind Freebooter. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. Now this is a good pirate. This is a lot better than that rare one that gives you 3 armor. This will see play in like any pirate deck. Oh man, in Wild, that's gonna be sick. Whew. It's a good card. It's a real good card. Sanctuary Chandler. I've already lost track of if I marked down this rare or not on my list. I'm trying to keep track of how many rares I've opened, and it only took me like 11 packs to goof it up. I'm going to mark down one because I know I'm going to forget one later. And I don't think I... Yeah, I think I marked one extra. Oh well, I'll probably forget one at some point. Sanctum Chandler, after you cast a fire spell, draw a spell. Okay. It's a bit expensive. It's a bit expensive to... Now this is a payoff for running the 0 mana, your next fire spell costs 2 less 1. But is this good enough? It's expensive for comboing off. It's probably not going to live past turn 5 if you just summon it. I think it's too awkward and too weirdly, like, it's too awkwardly costed to do much work, I think. Plus, a lot of the mage stuff, they're still running the no minions package. Because Apexis Blast and the other add stuff to your hand one are too good. I'll just crack both of those. Okay, I did mark these down. Metamorphin, taunt. If you've cast a fell spell this turn, gain +2/+2. A 1 mana 3/4, huh? If you've cast a fell spell this turn. Well, it's good for the stats, but you're never playing this on turn 1. Need to combo it with something else. It's a little awkward. Even then, like on turn 3 or 4, is casting a spell and summoning a 3/4 like that good of a tempo gain? Maybe not. I don't know. It's really weird. And it has taunt. I guess that's an upside. Taunt doesn't excite me anymore. When I first started playing this game, I thought Taunt was the best thing ever. Like, my favorite card was, Bog Creeper. There was, like, a 7 mana 6/8 with Taunt. Like, it was like, man, if I could just find my single copy of Bog Creeper that I have, like, this game is over. I thought it was so good. I still love that card just because of the memories I have of it. Anyway, Best in Shell seems actually good. Speaking of good things with Taunt, 6 mana summon 2 2/7s with Taunt. It's a lot of stats. The best comparison is Spike Ridge Steed, which required you to have a minion on board, cost the same, gave 1 minion like +2/+6, and then when it died, it summoned a +2/+6. The first mount spell, I guess. And that card was incredible, saw a ton of play. This is like just as good, if not better. It's actually better. It's actually better. Because you don't need a minion on board, and they're 2/7s. You get them both at once. Yeah, this card's hype. Imagine doubling this with a Solar Eclipse. Card seems real good. And Cowardly Grunt we talked about. Persistent Peddler, I love the design of. When I saw this card revealed, I said, okay, yeah, this is peak tradable design right here. Because if you have 2 in your hand, trade one away, put it back in your deck, summon the other one, And when this dies, it summons the other one from your deck. It's good, actually. Plus, it's got the Death Rattle stuff, so it gets summoned from the Death Rattle cards that are already good. I think this card's actually pretty good. I'm going to just stick it right into my Death Rattle deck after this. Alright, what do we got? Deep Run Engineer. Discover a mech, it costs 1 less. One of the weirdest cards in this set. It's like barely, it's like a break-even deal. It's not even a good deal. This card's bad. There's like barely any mechs in Standard too. Peasant, at the start of your turn, draw a card. People memed on this card so hard when it was first revealed. And I was just kind of like, well, it has potential if it doesn't die on turn 1. Like, if you go first and play this on turn 1, it's like a free card. This card's bad though. Really funny though. It's a fun meme card. I did not do that rare. Auction House Gavel we have talked about. We've talked about all these. We're getting to the point where we've talked about all these already. This pack opening's about to pick up pace, I tell you. Boy, a lot of 1 rare packs, huh? Spirit Alpha is good value with Overload. If you can chain a couple, like 2/3s with Taunt protects this pretty good, and it can have value running into future turns. It's fine. It's just expensive for like the kind of combo potential you want to do with it. Best case scenario is you Spirit Alpha, Lightning Bloom, cast 1 other Overload spell. You're heavily overloaded the next turn, but that gives you 2 2/3s. Essentially, it's if you can play 2 other spells this turn, 2 other Overload cards, that same turn, it's like you get a free Spirit Wolves. I think that was the name of the card. It was like a 3 mana 2/3. So that's 3 mana worth of value that you can get for free after playing this card. So in that situation, and better, this card's worth it. Anything less, it's not. So we'll see. See how much Overload stuff there's actually being run. We have not talked about Sow the Soil. Choose 1, give your minions +1 attack, or summon a 2/2 Treant. It's good. There's a very similar card to this, which I think was just I think it was in Descent of Dragons. It was just summon a Treant or give 1 minion +1/+1 or +1/+2 or something like that. Certainly buffing my whole board by 1 attack for 1 mana is really good. Mark of the Lotus, I think it was, is basically this card, but give everything +1/+1. Oftentimes you don't care about the extra 1 health, you just want the extra attack to swing and do sick damage. So I think Sow the Soil is really good. Gibberling died for this card. Leatherworking Kit. After 3 friendly beast stride, draw a beast and give it +1/+1, lose 1 durability. I don't know, boss. Hunter has other weapons at sea play. Hunter has Rinling's rifle. Hunter does not have the bow anymore in Standard. This is really slow. Like, even if you're doing rat stuff, the rat stuff seems really slow too. This is like slow on slow. Lag upon lag, like we used to say in college. Playing Brawl on a TV that lagged really hard. Shoutouts to Flip Hop. I don't think that's good. Like, the payoff isn't good enough for how much work you have to do. It's a good pack. We've talked about all these. Yeah, we got 1 rare. And another epic. Dark Alley Pact. Summon a fiend with stats equal to your hand size. So another hand lock card. Probably like a 4 mana 7/7 or a 4 mana 8/8 most of the time. Never bigger than a 9/9. That's pretty good on 4 mana, but you have to like have taken a couple turns off to do nothing. This fiend doesn't have taunt or anything else. It's just a big body. I don't know. I think there's other handlock cards that I think are better. Once again, like, we're like well past the days where just like putting a big boy of stats on the field, like, doesn't do too much. I don't know. I think there's better stuff to do than Dark Alley Pact. Oracle of Elune is interesting. After you play a minion that costs 2 or less, summon a copy of it. Typically, these effects sometimes see play. It depends on if there's any, like, Death Rattle stuff worth running. If you can make it to a turn to, like, combo off with this on a single turn. Because this thing isn't going to live another turn, or your opponent's board is just big enough that they don't care what you copy your next turn because you're dead. After you play it, so what 2 or less cost minions do you want to play? I'm trying to think if there's... Does this work with Strongman? Like if you corrupt Strongman and then drop this and 1 or 2 Strongmen, you just get like a bunch of 6/6s with taunt? That would be really cool. I think that counts because they technically cost less than 2. I don't know. This card has some weird like combo potential, and I'm always here for that kind of stuff. I don't think it sees play today, but a card to watch for the future is what I think. Okay, we have not talked about a couple of these. 5 mana 4/5, give adjacent minions +1/+1. So it's Fungal Mancer that gives less of a buff but has better stats. Fungal Mancer was really good because of the buff. This has taunt though. It's not a great body. Most of the time I think I'd rather play Wriggling Horror. It's still in standard, it costs less, it gives the same buff. I don't think Stormwind Guard ever sees play. Death Rattle, summon a random 3-cost minion. This card is trash. Cards like this stopped seeing play a long time ago. This is Piloted Shredder, but worse stats, but summons a potentially better minion, but there's so many 3-cost minions that you could just get like garbage. I don't know. I don't think Stubborn Suspect sees play ever. Piloted Shredder was like super good back in GVG because there wasn't anything like else. Power creep hadn't like fully taken over yet. Yeah, I don't think Stubborn Suspect ever sees play. Prester's Pyromancer, your next fire spell has spell damage +2. Okay, so you're essentially paying a 2-mana tax on making your fireball cost 8 instead. Your next fire spell, so just 1, but it could be the next turn as well. This works with, I guess there's that first flame and second flame card that they put in, but other than that, there's like fireball and flame strike. Flame strike already got buffed. I don't know, this just seems awkward. And once again, Mage doesn't care about minions. They're only playing the spell-only stuff because that's what's good in Mage right now. Second Devouring Swarm. Prester's Pyromancer doesn't see play. Final call. We have talked about all these. Catacomb Guard. Deal damage equal. We've already talked about that guy too. Oh. Getting to the point where I'm forgetting to... Alright, 2 rares. 2 rares. 1, 2. Talked about all those. Ooh, another golden rare. Sketchy Information. Let me mark down my golden rare. Our only golden cards have been rares so far. It's kind of cool. Sketchy Information. Draw a Death Rattle card that costs 4 or less, triggers Death Rattle. Now this is cool. Maybe not in Standard, but in Wild this is cool. This card has sick combo potential. I like this card. I'm trying to think what you run with it. It's a piece for my Jade Rogue deck that I want to happen so bad. You know, that card was good. Like when Rostakon's Rumble was like the current set and Undertaker was a card. I was running Jade Rogue in Wild, and let me tell you, like casting an Undertaker that had a Death Rattle of summon 3 Jade Golems was like super good. I definitely blew some people out. They're like, oh, I gotta remove that. Oh no, there's a huge board. Like someone would like clear the whole board and then just be left with like a 6/6, 7/7, and 8/8. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, that deck is absolute garbage now. But this deck gets there with you know, this draws you your Jade Swarmers, I think is the name of the card. Gives you a free guy. Jade Rogue's coming back, baby. We've talked about the rest of all these. I would like a legendary card, please. Alright. I'll take 2 rares and a golden common. Ooh! It's 2 rares. Alright. Golden investment opportunity. Well, bad. Northshire Farmer. I don't know this card at all. Battlecry, choose a friendly beast, shuffle 3/3/3 copies into your deck. Bad with Rhino because it doesn't trample damage over. Elwyn Boar. This card was made for Elwyn Boar, basically. The meme card that summons the Sword of 1,000 Truths. So it's kind of like Dire Frenzy for any class. I don't know if there's any beasts that are like worth doing that with. At the very least, it's a 3-mana 3/3 that does a thing. It better be a good beast that you're shuffling in. Zixor? Oh man, imagine like... I think upgraded Zixor costs 8, so you can't combo that off with this. But if any live... I mean, your opponent's dead if you... the next turn after you Zixor, if any stick around. I don't know, that's a weird card. I don't think it's super good, because it's really situational. Alright, this Warlock card is good. Alright, so I've talked about my love of Mortal Coil for a very long time. In many videos that I made, I talked about my love of Mortal Coil. This is Mortal Coil, but on steroids. This is that new card they just printed that summons an adventure instead of drawing you a card, but on steroids. Because this is deal 2 damage to a minion. If it dies, restore health to your hero. That's exactly what you want to do in your self-damage decks, so you don't die. This card is sick. Like, straight up, this card's just good. Like, I'm putting this in my Reno Warlock deck. I don't even think I have a Reno Warlock deck, but I'm building one and putting this in it. Vibrant Squirrel. Shuffle 4 acorns into your deck. When drawn, summon a 2/1 squirrel. Well, this card is not good. I like the shine on his tooth, but it will help me do the... there's a druid achievement for doing a bunch of the cast when drawn cards. So this in duels will be fine, but not in constructed. I clicked it too early. We got the Warlock quest! I wanted that one. Alright, cool. 1 rare, 1 Legio. Let's go. I wasn't expecting it, and I clicked it way too early. Alright, all this other garbage. Can only attack if you have at least 8 cards in hand. Wow, this card is bad. Package Runner. Yeah, no. Okay, Demon Seed. I got the Warlock quest. That's super sick. Deal damage to yourself to upgrade it. Eventually you get upgraded Tamsin Rome, who makes it to where any damage you take on your own turn goes to your opponent instead. I'm super, super excited. I want to build this in Wild. I want to build this in Standard. I want to play this everywhere. I love this quest. This is one of the first ones they showed off, and I'm super, super stoked for it. Like, this is such a cool quest. I'm really excited. Let's see, we're at 59 packs. So that was, if I do some math, 12 packs? That's pretty good rate. Cool. We still want the Priest quest. Well, do I switch card backs? No, I'm gonna stick with this card back for a bit. See if the luck continues. Let me get another legendary right here. Oh, 2 rares. It's telling me that there's still some luck here. First Flame, finally. Deal 2 damage to a minion, add a second flame to your hand, which is a similar spell that deals 2 damage to a minion. It's fine. Cards like this usually see play. What was the twin spell thing that froze minions? That saw a ton of play. Firefly, a similar thing, a 1/2 that gave you a 1/2 to play. Cards like this tend to see play and tend to be good, especially with the quest if you're running that. This is essentially just 2 fire spells, so it cuts down on the number of fire spells you need to find for each step of the quest. Good card. Okay, just a 1 rare pack, but that's fine. This card looks really weird. Battleground Battlemaster. Adjacent minions have Wind Fury. I wonder if they made this because they wanted to put it in Battlegrounds, because it has Battleground in the name. This card could be a game winner. If you get anything big to stick, just punishing your opponent by just giving it Wind Fury, and that's just damage to the face. It might be one of those, like, War Gear was good. When Boomsday Project was in Standard, War Gear saw a lot of play because it was like if you could get any mech to stick, it was an instant, like, 5 mana. It was essentially a 5 mana 5/5 with charge, provided you get something to stick. Here, if you get, like, anything, any big beater to stick, it has the potential to give it Wind Fury. And you can even, if you have multiple things on board, like swing into face and then trade in with a minion so the thing next to it moves over. Like, there's positioning stuff that works here too. You can give multiple things Wind Fury in a turn. I think it's a good card, actually. If you're running like a bigger boy deck, even if you're running like a smaller boy deck, like a big, wide deck, I think this card can get there. I think this card's good, actually. I'm going to call it right now. Battleground Battlemaster is good, actually. Sanctum Chandler we've talked about. Epic. Rare. Legendary. Oh. Samantha. Spice Bid Breaker, I already have Goldens of. Same with Rustrot Viper, so we must be getting close to being done with the commons, maybe? Store health, tier hero equal to your hand size. It's a handlock card, basically. It's a quest warlock card. It's fine for slower control decks that care about this kind of stuff. Decent. Specifically warlock. This is essentially a warlock card, I think. Rustrot Viper is a tradable ooze, basically. Destroy your opponent's weapon. It's got fine stats just by itself. It's a good card. And there's an achievement for destroying a bunch of weapons with this guy, so be looking forward to that. Rare. Cargo Guard. Terrible. Epic. Composting. There's an achievement for this one as well. Give your minions Death Rattle, draw a card. Historically, I love these kind of effects, but historically, they're not very good. But also, historically, they've never been as good as this. Usually, they're Death Rattle, add a random beast, or add a random mech to your hand, something like that, and those never saw wide play. But Death Rattle, draw a card in Druid. So in Token Druid, was it Soul of the Forest? Saw play. It was at 4 mana, and it saw a lot of play in these wide decks because it was like, if your opponent clears your board, you still have a board left over. Like, it makes a super sticky board. Here it's like the same thing, but it's like refilling your hand. So if you're like just like dumping everything onto the board, making a bunch of boys, even if you're just like playing like almost like a zoo, like even if you aren't even playing the treant stuff, if you're playing like just a small dude deck, composting helps you refill like really efficiently. Seems good. And once again, there's an achievement for it. Ah, Golden Farm Boy. Alright, so that's 1 golden common, 1 rare. Pandaren Importer. Once again, I have rares of. Ooh, somebody just opened Varian, unfortunately. The diamond card which I won't be opening because I have it in Diamond already. So somebody didn't buy somebody hasn't spent 20 bucks on this game. Free to players. Aside from that, I don't spend any money on this game aside from that. Pandaren Importer. Discover a spell that didn't start in your deck. It's fine. Could be good. It creates cool deck building stuff that you can build a deck to more like focus on the cards that you can't have. Like Shadow Priest, if you're building just with shadow cards, this can help you find something holy or something, you know, other than that. Seems okay. Seems good. I have this in Golden because they give you in the rewards track. First Flame we've talked about. Okay, well, we've officially finished out all the commons. Cool. Charged Call we've talked about. I'm sure there's definitely still some... Oh, I didn't mark down my one rare. Okay, this is like our third single rare pack in a row. Shadowcloth Needle. After you cast a shadow spell, deal 1 damage to all enemies. To all enemies. So it's like just like a AoE to the whole enemy board, plus their face. Lose 1 durability. That's weird. So it's essentially like a 2 mana, just 2 mana AoE to the whole board a couple times. That might be okay. Do you ever just take a card slot to do that, though? Like, is that good enough impact to where you couldn't just run something else? I don't know. It's one of the better of these weapons, though, I think. Like, it's got a better chance to be run, I think, than most of the other ones. Maybe. Alright, I'm changing my card back. I've gotten, I think, 3 just single rare packs. Nope. Wrong button. You know, I haven't done it yet. So I have to do it because I have it. We're looking for legendary cards, right? Gotta go with the legend card back. I understand this puts me at great risk to just get a bunch of single rare packs. That's a risk I'm willing to take. Let's... The double legendary pack? It happened. Bad. Final Showdown. Okay. Well, cool. This is like one of my only like double legendary packs I've ever gotten. Oh, wrong button. Print screen. Well, it's tradable. Jackson, tradable benefit stuff. Ridiculous hat. Put it well on the Angry Chicken that this is hey, stopped in at just the right time. This is a card. Tradable is a keyword that helps you do nothing. Jackson is a card that helps you do nothing more efficiently. Cards like this tend to not see much play. Like, think back to Grand Lackey Urk from the Galakron Adventure set, which was like, oh, this is like infinite value. You summon a lackey and get another lackey, and you can just keep summoning lackeys. But it saw 0 play, even though lackeys were everywhere in that meta. So Jackson, likewise, don't have high hopes. Final Showdown. You have to draw a bunch of cards in one turn a bunch of times, and your reward for all this is reducing all their cost. And then I think the final reward is you get a big Kurtrus, and then it like permanently Yeah, I could see that. Quest Priest, where you need to find your shard and you need to find your different costed boys. But do you want to run all tradable stuff in that deck, though? Like, you have to run a critical mass of tradable stuff in order for this to be of any use, to get the free tracking effects. And I just don't know. I have to look at the full pool of tradable cards, especially ones available to Priest. Yeah, I heard someone else say that this card like only has potential if there's like some kind of big combo deck going around, which you need to find your combo pieces like consistently. And I guess Quest Priest does qualify for that. So I don't know. Anyway, this was a really good pack. The only other double legendary pack, you're playing the quest because there's an achievement. Yeah, I'm gonna have to craft it for that achievement. Definitely. The only other double legendary pack I can remember getting had a golden Malygos in it and some other classic legendary, but I am super stoked to have that golden Malygos. Final Showdown I think was consistently ranked one of the lowest. Oh, are you talking about this quest or the Priest quest? The Demon Hunter one. Because I do know there's an achievement for this one as well, so I'm stoked to have that I don't need to craft that one. Okay. Well, I know there's one for this one as well to discount a bunch of cards with the Kurtrus effect. So once again, I'm glad to have cracked this one that I don't have to craft it. Super stoked to have a double legendary pack, because that does not happen often. Where are we at? 52. So that was a really good. Wow, that was only like 7 packs between legendaries, and we got the double. Let's just carry on with the legend card back. Unless we've just used up all the luck of it. Oh no, rare and epic. Warlock and Hunter quests are the most popular? Yeah, I can see that. I did see one person post on Twitter that they went like 12-2 or something with the mage one, which was essentially just all spells mage, but with a quest thrown in there. So I don't know how good that quest actually was for them, because all spells mage is just a decent deck. So who knows? Oh boy, my second dreaded mount. You hate to see it. Kodo mount, give a minion +4/+2 in rush when it dies summon a Kodo. I think this is one of the better mount cards. I started with 80, and I have about 1,500 more gold, so I think at the rate I'm going, I'm probably going to be fine with the 80 for tonight, because I'm still guaranteed I guess I'm guaranteed at least one more if I hit the pity timer, but on average I should get 2 more legendaries. This has been a better pack opening for me, especially because I've opened before this I opened the Warlock quest, which I'm super happy about, and the Rat King, which I'm not very happy about, but there is an achievement for it, so you know I gotta go for that. So I'm really glad I don't have to craft the Rat King. Kodo mount I think is maybe the best of the mount cards, just because it has so much impact on the board. Working on it already. Nice. We got 1 rare, 2 rares. SI7 Extortion, deal 3 damage to an undamaged character. These card effects sometimes deal... I mean, this is essentially just a better backstab, but a less good... Oh, what was the name of it? Shadow Strike? That dealt 5 damage to an undamaged thing, but it costs 3. So this is like a middle ground between those. It's an SI7 card, so it'll be run with the quest for that. Shoutouts to Mailbox Dancer, which has golden ones in the reward track. It's pelvic thrusting a little bit, which is great. Love to see that. It's basically that same rogue card, except it's just even 1 for 1. Except this one gives you the priority. It gives you the coin first, and then your opponent the coin. Overall, it's just, you know, probably not a great card. Okay, just another single rare pack. Noble Mount. Yeah, I don't think that's that great. one of the lesser mount cards. Sketchy information, and okay, so we can't be close to being done with the rares. I would expect those to be fully done around like 20 packs left, I think. That's our second sigil. I don't know if I marked. Oh, I'm gonna skip marking that one then if I forgot. Alright, legend card back. You're failing me. Granite Forgeborn. 6 legendaries in 112. So that's, let's see, take out 10 for your first one. So 5 in 100. That's average, because on average I think you get 1 every 20. I'm certainly running well above average. I've opened 30 or so, and I'm at 4 legendaries, so I'm doing real well. Granite Forgeborn. Battlecry, reduce the cost of elementals in your hand and deck by 1. This is a good card, except the discount eventually probably won't be worth as much, because if you're just dumping out your hand, even drawing a couple cards here and there, Shaman still isn't super great with card draw, even though they got that Dungeoneer one that draws like 2 for the most part. Eventually you'll get to a point where you're kind of just like top decking, especially if you discounted a ton of cards and you're just throwing them all out. You're going to get to a point where you're top decking and the discount won't matter as much, but even then still, it's a Yeti. It's an elemental Yeti, so, you know, I think it just goes in the elemental deck. I don't have much experience with this deck, so I don't know if there are any like weak cards that are included in that deck. So this might replace something. It's not got bad stats. Like I said, it's a Yeti. Yeah. I'm excited for a lot of what Shaman has gotten in this set. Like, both of their legend... Alright, we're doing real good. Alright, that is a rare and another legendary. Holy smokes, this is sick. I haven't got a golden legendary since I got Headmaster Kel'Thuzad in Skullomance, who I definitely used a little bit and then realized he wasn't super good. Gold Child, no. Rush costs 1 less for each other card in your hand, so kind of a handlock card, except I don't know if handlock cares about this. I just want to know what this legendary card is. Oh! The Paladin one. The, play Odd Paladin in Standard again one. Cool. So aside from this terrible, like, first reward you get of the 1/4 weapon, being able to eventually get to a point where you're just putting out 2 3/3s a turn is, like, super sick. I'm excited for this one. This was probably right around the mid-tier of quests for me. I've heard people say that once you get there, like, I've heard people say you can pretty consistently get there and play Cariel by like turn 6. So just think if you were able to play Jaraxxus by turn 6 and get like this 6/6 worth of stats for 2 mana every turn. There's a reason why Odd Paladin is consistently at the top of Wild in the meta ranking. It's because you just hit that button every turn, and getting 2 1/1s is super good. Now getting 2 3/3s for 2 mana every turn is even better. And in Standard? Yes, please. Let's go. Alright, where are we at? 45. So that was another 7 packs between legendaries. Yeah, from what I've seen, some are definitely, like, probably gonna get nerfed. Epic. Good pack. Let's see, that's a golden common, a rare, and an epic. SI7 Assassin. Oh, alright, this card looks sick. Vile Spine Slayer was a super good card from Ungoro for Rogue. It was just combo destroy an enemy minion for like 5 mana. This has the opportunity to be way cheaper to combo off with. Does the same thing. It's got almost the same stats. I think Vile Spine Slayer was a 3/4. Yeah, this card looks good. And with all the bounce stuff they have, they got Tenwu. I think Shadow Step is still in standard. SI7 Assassin looks pretty sick. Void Touched Attendant. Both heroes take 1 extra damage from all sources. So this is interesting. I don't know if it's good, but I think it's really interesting. I think this is a fascinating effect. If there's any kind of aggro priest, I know I've been talking about aggro priest a lot, like maybe being a huge meme, but like, you know, is it? How much of a meme is it actually? But I don't know. I just think the effect is really, really cool, especially like in Wild if you're playing Raza Priest. Just like your ping doing like, so you ping them for 2, play this, it refreshes, ping them for 3, you know, play something else cheap. Like this is a really, really good card to refresh your hero power in that deck in Wild. So maybe you play this. All right, here's the dream play. You ping your opponent for 2, play this, it refreshes your hero power, ping them for 3, play Spawn of Shadows, then go about your thing as normal. So you're doing 5 to them. Oh no, both heroes, so you're doing 5 to both. Okay, so you're just like reducing the amount of times you need the Spawn of Shadows thing to proc. I don't know, I think this is a fascinating effect. I'm going to throw this in my Highlander Priest and see how it does. I like it. Alright, we gotta calm down a little bit. Packs have been too good. Ramming Mount. I mean, +2/+2 and immune while attacking. When it dies, summon a ram. I think you're less so interested in the 2/2 ram that's immune while attacking. You're more so interested in this as a buff in general on whatever you're buffing. 3 mana +2/+2. So I really like Ace Hunter Kreen. I put it in a lot of Demon Hunter decks. Like even my Death Rattle one where I want my things to die, I still throw in Ace Hunter Kreen because like the value of it is so good. This costing the same amount, buffing a single thing and making it immune, it's a little clunky. It might be really good in edge case scenarios, but I think overall it might be a little too clunky and there might just be better stuff to do with Hunter. Oh, we didn't get there. Okay, Park Panther. Decent in that wanting to attack with your face as Druid deck. Shadowcloth Needle number 2. Okay, we're starting to slow down. But last time we slowed down with the legend card back, we got another really quick legend card. Okay. Ooh, another golden rare. I'm doing really good on the golden rares. That's like my 4th one. Psyfiend, a card I'm actually somewhat interested in. After you cast a shadow spell, deal 2 damage to each hero. So this is like Spawn of Shadows. But for shadow spells. Not for hero power. 3 mana, 3/4. It's hard to evaluate. It's so narrow with the shadow spells. Like, it's certainly nowhere near as good as Spawn of Shadows. But it might be fine in this deck. Who knows? Okay, so this is not the one I was thinking of. Encumbered Pack Mule is just like a... It's got... So there's another card game I play called Eternal, and it has an effect called Echo, a keyword. That is just when you draw it, add a second copy to your hand. I think it's called Echo in that game. So it's basically this effect, but it's on a couple cards. I know people are saying, oh, throw this in Handlock, but like... I don't think it's that good in Handlock, even though it gives you 1 extra card. It's just a 2 mana 2/3. There's another card that's a lot more interesting that I hope I crack. It might be an epic. I don't remember. Sure, yep, I talked about all those. Dark Alley Pact. Oh, yeah. I don't think that's super great. Double rare pack. Elec Mount. This is the big boy. Plus 4/7, plus 4/7, and taunt. When it dies, summon a 4/7 taunt. Elec. Seems like a good card. It's one of the ones like people are saying like this is a card I don't think you ever run in a priest deck, but if you ever discover it with like Scorpid or something, you like snap pick it almost every time. Just because it's good. It's a fine card. Also interesting, there's an achievement for getting the Elec onto the field and playing an Elec mount on the Elec. I think it's called something like Circus Performance or something like that. Having an Elec riding an Elec, which is fun. Certainly gonna have to do that. Epic. Rare. Okay, a rare and an epic pack. Love to see it. Entrapped Sorceress, if you control a quest, discover a spell. Auto run in any quest deck, basically. It's, you know, it's like that other one that if you control a quest, add a coin to your hand. Like, why wouldn't you run that if you're running a quest? It's like easy synergy. Ooh. Ah, it's a bad one. Imported Tarantula. It's a 5-mana 4/5 with Death Rattle, summon 2 1/1s with Rush and Poisonous. It's a bad card, unfortunately. Doesn't even like do anything. Like its animation isn't even anything. No. So confirmed, it is as bad as it sounds. Rip. It's not even. It's one thing. Like sometimes really bad cards have really good golden animations. Ooh, all right. We'd take back-to-back epics though. Ah, cool. I have a full playset now. Awesome. Yo! The epics are rolling in now, man. Alright. This is sick. That's my 5th golden rare, so that's 1 rare and 2 epics. 2 epics. Second composting and our first Elwyn Boar. I mean, we're gonna dust this when we get the golden ones in our rewards track anyway. So I'm gonna hold off on playing this one at all, to trying to meme to get the Sword of 1,000 Truths, but it's free 100 dust basically. And we have a full playset of composting, which seems like a fine card. There's certainly worse epics you can get. Can we get like a 4th pack in a row with an epic? Oh my god. This luck, man. Which achievement? I've talked about a lot of achievements. Gold Char, no, I've talked about. The composting one? Or the sword one? Ah, I can't wait to mess around with that one. Nobleman. Create a golden copy of a random card in your hand. Well, it's a bad one. I don't think this is good. Maybe really fringe case scenarios where you like throw out your whole hand except for like 1 card so it's targeted, but I mean that's a lot of work you have to do just to copy 1 card. And for a 3-mana 2/3? Alright. No epics in this pack. Our luck has finally run out. Yeah. That was quite a run, though. I know, it's golden. If I want a golden copy of something, I'll play Zola the Gorgon in Wild. I don't think we've seen the ink set yet. After you spend 5 mana on spells, reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 5. Lose 1 durability. Well, in Standard, there's not enough big spells running around. And in Wild, big spell mage isn't super a thing. Like, you're playing secrets in Wild if you're playing mage for the most part. Or you're playing, like, OTK Mozaki mage. which doesn't run big spells. It specifically runs the smallest spells it can. Celestial Ink set is basically a give it another expansion or two to see. Alright, epics are back. Ignite! Oh, cool. I think there's an achievement for this one. Deal 2 damage, shuffle and ignite into your deck that deals 1 more damage. I think, what is it, like deal 10 damage with a single ignite or something? Might have to mess around with some spell damage shenanigans. But it's doable. Dang. You're getting it with the... You're doing way better than I am, and I'm the one that makes a video series on the achievements. I gotta step it up. Oh, Mozaki Mage, of course. Yeah, I'm dumb. That's easy. That's so easy. Encumbered pack mode we talked about. Double rare. We like those. Cool. Talked about all those. Two-Faced Investor, one of the worst cards in the set. Oh boy. I mean, just like there must always be a Lich King, there must always be a bad Ogre card in a set. That's my second common golden farmer. Like, I have a full golden playset of this stupid farmer. Ramming Mount number 2. So I think we're getting close to being done with the rares. Okay, SI7 Assassin. Oh, just when I was thinking our luck had started to run out with the legend card back, we get another rare and epic pack. Call of the Grave. Discover a Death Rattle minion. If you have enough mana to play it, trigger its Death Rattle. This is a really cool card. I don't know what all Death Rattles are in Priest at the moment. I know in the past, in Wild stuff, they've had a lot of Death Rattle stuff. I guess technically there's also neutral Death Rattles as well. I know somebody put together a chart of all the potential Death Rattles that there are to discover with this and their costs. I think it's a super fascinating card. I just don't know how good it is. I mean, at least it's another shadow spell for that deck. It's interesting, at least. I'd rather them make, like, interesting epics as opposed to, like, noblemen. Alright, Ogre. Another epic. Still rolling in. First Blade of Rin. People are excited about this card. I am not. Gain Rush if this has at least 4 attack. Especially in Wild, there's better stuff I want to be buffing. Why give this Rush if I buff it once when I have a 3 mana charge with Divine Shield that I'm running as well? So this doesn't see play in Wild. In Standard, I don't know if there's enough like critical mass of hand buffing stuff. I know there's like Overlord Runthak and the 2/2 one that they put in this set, which is a really good card. But I think especially with Paladin, I think some of their cards are so like good that I don't know if you ever run First Blade of Rin. Could be good, but I don't know. I'm not super excited for it. Trap Sorceress? Okay, that's the quest one. You know? Alright, it has been 20 packs since we've seen a legendary, and this is by far the longest drought we've had between legendary cards. Hashtag first world problems. Second Mailbox Dancer. Might have to switch off of the, I know we're guaranteed at least one more, but I'd rather not hit the pity timer after starting off so strong. Second Vibrant Squirrel. Yeah, I just, for statistical purposes, I'm, want to see, like, what my stats are for, opening stuff. Okay, so that's a third Elec mount, so definitely we've gotten all of the rares. But yeah, just for statistics, so I can be like, okay, well, in so many packs, I opened this many epics, this many legendaries, you know, this many rares too, so you can see, like, wow. Speaking of this many rares, 2 and an epic. Counterfeit Blade. Gain a random friendly death rattle that triggered this game. Card I'm interested in. I cracked. There's another epic that you draw a death rattle minion that costs 4 or less and trigger its death rattle. Once again, this is a card for my Jade Rogue deck that I'm wish I could play again. I wish it could be good again, but it probably never will. This will trigger the Jade Swarmer death rattle. There's a lot of nutty stuff you can do with this, especially there's like some meme like big dragon decks that involve you like finding and triggering the death rattle for like Deathwing Dragonlord to summon like Ysera and Deathwings and all sorts of crazy stuff from your hand like super early. It's very inconsistent, but some people love that dang deck. Packs to go. Sketchy information. Speaking of that death rattle card, costs 4 or less. There we go. Speaking of, there we go. It's 1 rare, 1 legendary. 6. I'm running out of space on this sheet for my legendaries. Legendary number 6 is Command the Elements. Cool. Another quest I was somewhat interested in. Having your spells cast twice seems really cool. And it's overload synergy, so it's a big thing that they've been dealing with Shaman for this set. I guess recently too. I mean, as long as shoot, what's that card? The Unnerved Innervate that overloads for 2. As long as that's around, this card's gonna be good. Wow, I'm doing really, really good. I got 18 packs left, so that was, if I do some math, 45 minus 18. Get my calculator for that. 27 packs. So, a long drought for this stream, but you know, I have faith in the legend card back. I'm not switching my card back again. We're getting 1 more legendary card. Just not right here. No golden legendaries though, which is unfortunate. This makes up for it. I feel like the last set that came out, I had a pretty bad pack opening. So I will gladly take all this. 1 rare, 1 epic. Nice. Give me a Garote, however it's pronounced. Revoke. Ah, choose a friendly minion, enemy minions attack it. Ah, this one's bad. Oh well. At least it seems bad. Alright. Another back-to-back epic. And a golden common. Clumsy Courier. Cast the highest cost spell from your hand. Like I said earlier, not much support for big spell stuff in Mage right now in Standard, and not really a thing in Wild, but another wait-and-see card if they print some big boy spells. Alongside the old Ink set. Good God. What are these packs, man? Golden Chandler. Well, unfortunately, I don't think that's a super, super good card, but, well, it exists. Alright, coming up on our last 10 packs. Phenomenal pack opening. I got, let's see. I wanted the Warlock quest, I got the Warlock quest. I wanted the Shaman quest, I got the Shaman quest. So I got 2 of my, like, top 5 that I wanted. Grant, I think I might... If I made the list again, I probably would swap out the Warrior list for the Shaman list. Like, I put the Shaman list down in my top 5, but, you know, if given the choice between that and the Warrior quest, I think I'd take the Warrior quest. Stockade's Prisoner. Starts dormant after you play 3 cards. This awakens. Too slow. It's not awakening on turn 3, most likely. Turn 4 and later, it's just a vanilla minion. Even worse if you wake it up later than that. 2 rares. And even just these multi-rare packs, like, that's a lot of dust. That's like my 4th or 5th Chandler. I think that's a safe one to dust my extra copies of. Don't think that one's gonna, like, light it up anywhere. Seven packs to go. Another epic. Second First Blade of Rin. Well, at least I have a play set of that card. It could surprise me and be great. Let's get one more legendary before we run out of packs. Like I said, I have the extra gold. I just don't want to spend any more right now. Cool. Fellgorger is a card I have not seen yet. Battlecry, draw a Fell spell. Reduce its cost by 2. So it goes along with the drawing cards thing. And the Fell stuff. It's a 4 mana 4/3, so it's not got great stats, but it draws a card. Honestly, I'm probably going to kill the stream after I finish this. After I finish opening packs. I was planning on playing a little bit, but it's getting late. I work in finance, so we're trying to close the month of July, so it's been real busy days. So I'm coming up on 2 hours, so unfortunately that's going to be... I might make a couple like quick edits to some decks. But for the most part, this is going to be it for me, unfortunately. I might buy like 2 more packs. Oh man. 2 rares. And our last pack. For now, unless I buy 2 more because I was at 18. Just a single rare. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy 1 more. See what happens. Don't be greedy. You did good enough already. I'll just buy 1. See what happens. Can't end it on just a single rare pack, though. Alright, 1 more. We'll make it 20, and then we're calling it. I do like to gamble, but I also know when to stop. so this will make it an even 20 since my last legendary, I think. Yeah. Let's see if this pays off. Oh. Well, I said we couldn't go off on just a single rare, but oh, I think that is gonna do it. Okay, so 80 plus 2 packs and 6 legendaries, including 1, 2, 3, including 3 that have achievements for them. So I'm super stoked for that. I don't have to craft anything day 1 because I have enough stuff to play with for now. I have enough stuff to make videos with. But yeah, this has been probably the best pack opening I've ever done. It's also the most. I had a lot of extra gold at the end of this set. Oh yeah, I need to make a couple edits to some decks. Buff Boy. I can finally take out Arena Fanatic, who nobody runs anymore. Nobody runs this card in this deck anymore but me. Until now. Because we have... Where are you? I know you cost 2. Or no, you cost 3, right? Yeah. My 3-drop spot. Well, Salhut's Pride costs 3. It's good. I'd rather swap a 4 cost for a 3 cost. This guy's gonna do mad work in this deck. I love this deck. I think I mentioned that this might be my favorite deck of all time. Just hand buff Paladin in general. I do play on US, yeah. Did I have anything else I wanted to add real quick? Oh yeah, I wanted to add this one to Highlander Priest. Find it. Void Touched Attendant. What do I want to take out? Maybe Thought Steal. Most of the stuff is pretty basic. But I think I want to take out Thought Steal. Maybe Light Bomb? I haven't played Light Bomb in forever. I do like Elucia though. It never does work, but I like the option of having it in my deck. Maybe Breath of the Infinite. It's kind of overcosted for what it does. Yeah. Goodbye. Let's just see how this works. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but I at least want to try it. Okay, and I guess before we go, I'll do a quick... let's see. Yeah, I guess we play Flame Imp. It deals damage to me. There's the quest. Definitely 2 copies of that. I'll probably trade out Drain Soul for something better, just as we go. Backfire seems good. Oh, Dreaded Mount. That's going to be a duels card right there. Yeah, I'll definitely put that one in there. Do I want any Soul Fragment stuff in here? Put it in here and take it out later if I need to. Yeah, there's achievement for this. Definitely. Do we? I don't think we Ticketus because we don't care. I don't, and we don't Juraxis because that's not our win condition anymore. Okay, where's this spice bread baker? Is that combo good in this deck? Is there anything else worth running? Talon Fordring. But there's like no other discard synergy. Talon Fordring would draw us, at this point, Stealer of Souls. I don't think that's good enough. Oh, I do not like that animation. So, I had an issue with the 5th generation Pokemon games on the DS because that was the first one where like the Pokemon moved consistently and they looked so dang ugly. And this is doing that, like, oh god. Yeah, I don't like this animation. Glad he was free, but like... he doesn't get us there. We don't have any Rush or Taunt or Divine Shield in here. What Ragnaros won? Alexstrasza? She might be good. Part of me wants to put Mutanus in here just because I love Mutanus so much. Okay, hold on. What heals? Siphon Soul, but it's only single target. Do we ever do this? Oh wait, I'm dumb. We gotta put Raise Dead in here. Flame Imp probably gets cut. Dark Glare. I probably should. I mean, I don't have it, but I think I dusted it when it got nerfed. And even though I play Wild, I haven't like cared to like play that deck. Yeah, I guess that makes sense in this deck. And that deck is like tier 1 in Wild. I probably should, but I also don't really want to craft anything tonight. I guess I should be looking for store. Oh, I only need one card. Yeah, one copy of Siphon Soul. Alright. Okay. I really need to get to bed. It's like literally my bedtime right now. I'll mess around with this and see what... Oh, I need to, Quest girl. I'll mess around with that and see how it works. I did want to play at least one game, but it is also literally my bedtime right now. It sounds like it's pretty late for you two as well. So I think that is going to do it for me today. Might stream some more Hearthstone later this week. maybe Friday or Saturday, but we'll see. Either way, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being with me for my pack opening. I'm glad it was a really good one compared to some of the other recent sets. We killed it tonight. It was really good. Anyway, get some good sleep. I'll catch y'all later. Take it easy.